Listen carefully, and you might just hear the sound of an old rivalry stirring. On Sunday, there is unlikely to be pizza in the Emirates Stadium tunnel, and even if a penalty is missed, the chances of a bawling match between Taker and Miscreant appear remote. But Arsenal and Manchester United meet amid a clear sense things are changing. In recent years, any excitement around this fixture has lent squarely on its tradition, but at long last, it takes on a life of its own once again. This is not a title showdown. Any suggestion the race for top spot might develop into a shootout between these two foes was firmly refuted by midweek comebacks at Selhurst Park and the Etihad. Even if United win, they will be 5 points shy of Arsenal having played a game more. The bigger picture, though, is that they are finally a threat to each other at the business end again, not simply for 5th or 6th place. The anticipation can sustain itself. Arsenal are the best team in this season's Premier League and will win it unless their level tails off and Manchester City rediscover the fire Pep Guardiola believes has been lost. They meet a United side who have won 9 of their past 10 and feel ahead of schedule under Erik ten Hag. A return to the Champions League would suffice for most at Old Trafford, but United are third, have almost hunted down their local rivals, and know as well as anyone that momentum is an intoxicating drug. Mikel Arteta will be able to appreciate the difference. His first win as Arsenal manager came in this fixture. On New Year's Day of 2020, Nicolas Pepe and Socrates Papastathopoulos scored the goals against the poor United, and, while Arsenal played well, that fact alone is enough to highlight what has changed. It has been a painstaking process, but Arteta, backed by a patient board who knew he had to instigate a change both of culture and quality, looks well set to complete the job. Arsenal finished 8th that season. United came third, but ended up 15 points shy of second and 33 off the champions, Liverpool. Whoever won their jests, it was nothing like the clash of heavyweights that routinely sent ripples through the sport 2 decades previously. Celebrating short-term superiority over a fellow faded power only brings limited fulfillment. It has taken Arteta 3 years to effect what looks close to a complete turnaround. His feet will certainly fit the definition as soon as Arsenal begin winning major trophies again. Ten Hag deserves credit, too, for wrenching United to a competitive level so soon after joining a club that had lost its direction and soul. Really impressive, Arteta said of his colleagues' performance. He's turned things around pretty quickly. He's implemented a very clear way of playing. The players seem to have bought into it. There's a good energy around the place, and a lot has changed in a short period of time. Clarity and consistency are what have, with the right personnel in tow, borne fruit for Arteta. The hardest moment for many managers is when their players cross the white line. For all their exhortations, and Arteta is not slow with those, the controllables disappear rapidly. But these days Arteta can trust that his side will perform to a certain level regardless of result. He knows what he will get, and that reliability, more than anything, paves the way for a successful title tilt. The feeling is that United do not quite have that yet, even though Ten Hag has effected the crucial transition to a side that can win through craft as well as individual moments. The costly late concession against Palace was the kind of mishap Arsenal would have contrived last season. They have not shown much sign of anything similar this time and still appear a couple of steps ahead of this weekend's opposition. From the Arsenal team that prevailed in 2020, only Granit Xhaka will remain on Sunday. 5 of the players that flopped for United back then will start for Ten Hag, assuming Fred replaces the suspended Case Moreau, and a statistic that at once commends the level he has squeezed out of a previously disparate bunch and suggests the rebuild has only just begun. Arsenal's transformation continued on Friday with the arrival of Leandro Trossard from Brighton. The centre-back Jakub Kiwior, who plays for Spezia in Serie A, should follow soon. Trossard knows how to strike a lethal blow to United. He scored the final goal of a 4-0 thrashing for the Seagulls in May, 4 weeks after breaching Arsenal's defense in North London. Arsenal had hoped Mykhailo Mudryk would be turning out for them, but perhaps, in sifting through the alternatives, they have happened upon a new hero for this fixture. The joy for both sides nowadays is that there are plenty of candidates for that role, whether Bukayo Saka, Marcus Rashford, Martin Odegaard, or Christian Eriksen stand tall. I have to lift my players, make sure they are up to it, and that they still have something in the tummy to try to beat Manchester United, Arteta said. It has been a long time coming, but this collision of giants looks tasty again. Erik ten Hag's team head into this one having won 9 games in all competitions before drawing 1-1 with Crystal Palace on Wednesday, with the result moving them into third in the table, 8 points behind us. However, Emirates Stadium isn't a venue they've enjoyed playing at in recent years, losing 5 of the last 7 meetings on our turf, a stat we hope to extend as we seek a 4th consecutive clean sheet at the start of a year for only the 4th time in our history. Red-hot Rashford behind United's rise. After a disastrous start to the season that saw embarrassing defeats to Brighton and Brentford, Ten Hag has quietly been turning things around by winning 12 of their last 17 league encounters to climb into the top 4 and remain in all 3 cup competitions. Since the World Cup break, they beat Nottingham Forest, Wolves, and Bournemouth before knocking Everton out of the FA Cup. That was followed by a controversial victory over Manchester City on Derby Day, atoning for a 6-3 defeat back in October, before they were denied a 6th straight league win thanks to Michael Ollah's stoppage-time free kick in midweek grabbing Palace a point. This turnaround in fortunes has been powered by the goals of Marcus Rashford, who has scored 8 times in his last 8 matches. Talking tactics. Ten Hag has used a 4-man defense this season in a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 shape. In midfield, Casemiro was the most eye-catching summer recruit, and at times he has been used in conjunction with 2 playmakers, but against us, Fred made deputize in his absence. That could see either Bruno Fernandes or Christian Eriksen fielded wide and asked to drift inside. Antony, a more natural winger, offers a wide range of tricks, while 18-year-old Alejandro Garnacho is increasingly an option from the start. At their best, United move the ball excellently. They're particularly effective at dragging the opposition towards one side of the pitch, before suddenly switching play to the other flank and attacking into space. Antony's goal against us at Old Trafford featured 4 consecutive backwards passes, drawing our press before cutting through the lines. We must be wary of that threat. What the managers say. Arteta on United, I think Ten Hag turned things around pretty quickly. He has implemented a very clear way of playing. I think the players seem like they've bought into it. They have really good energy around the place. And a lot of things have changed in a very short period of time, so credit to him and the coaching staff for what they've done. When you look at the squad that they have, it's just incredible. The individuals and the collective organization can beat any opponent in this league. Hear everything Mikel said in his pre-match press conference. Ten Hag on us. It's obvious they are in a really good run. I think they deserve the position where they are now. It's a really good structure. There's a really good mentality, winning attitude in the team, and that's why they are now top of the league. You see really good structures in the team, and I think that they even improved during the first half of the season. There is a really good spirit as well in that team. We know what to do, and we have to be really good. We need a really good performance. If we do, I think we have a good chance to get a good result. Team news! New signing Leandro Trossard may be available, and while Gabriel Jesus, Mohamed Elneny, and Reiss Nelson continue to be our only injury concerns, 3 more of our players are treading a disciplinary tightrope. A booking in this game for William Saliba, Gabriel, or Bukayo Saka would be their 5th of the campaign and rule them out for the upcoming Everton game. The suspension threshold rises to 10 bookings after this match. That particular rule has caught out Casemiro, who received his 5th of the season against Palace and will miss this one. Diogo Dalot is struggling with a hamstring issue that saw him miss the games against Manchester City and Crystal Palace, while Anthony Martial was taken off at halftime in last weekend's derby and sat out the game against Palace. Jadon Sancho hasn't been seen in a United shirt since October as he deals with personal and fitness issues, and Donny van der Beek is out for the rest of the season after suffering a knee injury earlier this month. Facts and stats. Manchester United are looking to complete only their 2nd league double over us since Sir Alex Ferguson retired in 2013, doing so since then only in 2017-18. United beat us 3-1 in September when we topped the table. The only side they've beaten twice in the same Premier League campaign when the opponent was top both times is Newcastle United in 1995-96. This is just the third time we are hosting United in a Premier League match while top of the table, with the previous two meetings ending in draws, 1-1 in March 2004 and 2-2 in November 2007. We have scored in 17 of our 18 league games this season, though the exception was our last home game against Newcastle. We've not failed to score in consecutive home league matches since November 2020. We are yet to concede a goal in 2023. Only in 3 calendar years have we not conceded in any of our first 4 competitive matches, doing so in 1935, 1994, and 2021. Bukayo Saka has scored in his last 2 Premier League games against Man United. Only Freddie Ljungberg, 1998-2000, and Thierry Henry, 2000-2001, have netted in 3 in a row. Marcus Rashford has been involved in 8 goals in his 10 Premier League starts against us. For goals, for assists, against no side has he produced more goal involvements. Gabriel Martinelli has been involved in 10 goals in his last 10 Premier League home games, 6 goals. For assists, only failing to either score or assist twice in this run versus Fulham and Newcastle. Match officials! It's a quick reunion with Anthony Taylor, who previously took charge of us on New Year's Eve when we beat Brighton. He has been a good omen for us this season, as he was also in charge of our opening day win at Crystal Palace and October's derby success over Tottenham Hotspur. In fact, we have lost just 6 of the 46 games he has overseen, which includes the 2017 and 2020 FA Cup final wins over Chelsea, and have won the last 7. It is the second time he refereed this fixture, having overseen our 3-0 win at Emirates Stadium in 2015. Referee, Anthony Taylor. Assistant Referee 1, Gary Beswick. Assistant Referee 2, Adam Nunn. Fourth Official, Andre Mariner. VAR, Michael Salisbury. Additional VAR, Daniel Robathan.